Wesh, and welcome to the French No One Teaches You, where we tell you how French speakers actually talk. I'm Faty, and today we're going to talk about how to get your flirt on in French. It's a language of love after all. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. Let's start from the beginning. How to pick up somebody. Well, I'm going to teach you phrases that are cool ways to pick up people that are not going to sound too pushy or too aggressive, and that are actually going to work. When you're first trying to approach someone that you do not know, the first thing you're going to do is say hello. It's the same thing in French. So you go and say Salut, wesh, comment ça va, whichever. You can go watch the greeting videos to get your greetings on. Now, let's imagine you're at a bar. You see somebody you really like that's sitting on the countertop. You're like, oh my god, I gotta get this one. So you go, you approach them, you greet them, right? And then you ask them, est-ce que je peux te payer un verre? Can I buy you a drink? Or if you want to be even a little bit more bold, you can say, qu'est-ce que tu bois? Which means, what are you drinking? And then, of course, the next step is to ring the bartender and get that person whatever they're drinking. Now, this one is for smokers, but in Paris, everybody smokes. So if you see somebody that's smoking, or you see somebody that looks like they smoke, you can go approach them and ask them, est-ce que t'as du feu? It means, do you have a lighter? Or you can ask them, est-ce que t'as une cigarette? Do you have a cigarette? And then, you're lighting your cigarette together, you start chatting, you exchange numbers or whatever, you find a way. But now that you're already a foot in, you're exchanged pleasantries, you started talking, you can go and slip a few compliments here and there. First compliment you can say is, tu es très charmant ou tu es très charmante, which means you're very charming. And it's like, you're charming. And it's nice. It's not too pushy, but it's also like, it means that that person is attracted to you. And then the second one you can use is, je te trouve resplendissante, means I find you to be beaming. There's like light emanating out of you. And I mean, if somebody says that to you, wouldn't you want to give them your number? Now I'm going to teach you one cheesy, very, very cheesy pickup line that you can use either on dating apps or if you want to impress somebody or make them laugh a little bit. So you can ask them this question. Est-ce que ton père est un voleur? Which means, is your dad a thief? Now they'll probably be confused and be like, non. And so you respond, si, je pense que c'en est un parce qu'il a pris toutes les étoiles du monde pour les mettre dans tes yeux. Which literally means, I think he is one because he stole all of the stars from the sky to put them in your eyes. I mean, come on. Now I'm going to tell you about different types of relationship and how we define them in French. So the first one is your good thing, it's your bae, it's your baby, love of your life. You're in a committed relationship, exclusive committed relationship with that person. In French, you would say, je suis en couple avec blah blah blah. So I'm in a relationship. We are a couple. On est un couple. So that's the first one. The second one is if you're trying to bring more people into your relationship, then you either are polyamoureux, so polyamorous, or you are in a relation ouverte, relation libre, an open relationship, a free relationship, if you will. Now the next type of relationship is if you're, a little bit afraid of commitment, or you just, want to have fun, and you're seeing somebody regularly, solely for sex. It's called un plan cul régulier. So which literally translates to regular butt plug. And it's somebody you see just to have fun regularly. Let's imagine that everything I've been teaching you so far works out perfectly. So you begin a new relationship, yay! You want to ask the right question, the important questions. The first question you do want to ask is, qu'est-ce que tu cherches? What are you looking for? We define the terms now so nobody's confused later. Now that you've entered this new relationship with this person or these people, you can ask them, est-ce que tu m'aimes? Which means, do you love me? And honestly, I hope they do when you ask that question. Now, let's talk about labels. So the person you're in a relationship with, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, in French you call them mon petit copain ou ma petite copine ou mon copain, ma copine. Very simple. Now, if you're in a long-term relationship where you're just really feeling that person and you're very passionate about them, one way to call them is mon homme, ma femme, or my man or my woman. It's like, they're my man, my woman, my person. Now, unfortunately, relationships end. And to talk about somebody that you've been with, you would say mon ex. It's exactly like in English, but you would use the French pronoun mon for it. Now that we've talked about the pronoun mon, there's one thing you need to know about French. If you add mon in front of anything, it's yours. So you can make any cute pet name with mon in front of it and then adding whatever noun or adjective you want and you think better define your partner. Another way to call your loved one is mon bébé, which means my baby, or mon chéri, or ma chérie, which means my darling. Then there's mon petit chou, which is either my little cabbage or my little pastry. So now here are some terms that you need to know that are related to relationship, dating, flirting, love, whatever. So the first term is flirting, of course, to flirt. That's how you say to flirt. Now another way to say flirt, a cooler way to say to flirt is the brancher quelqu'un. So brancher quelqu'un literally means to plug them in like into a socket or an outlet. And but really it just means to flirt with them. As we saw in the first video, there are a lot of English terms that have entered the French language. And so if you want to say that you're sliding into somebody's DM, in French you would say que tu slides dans leur DM. It's literally the same thing, slide dans les DM. Okay, now let's talk about some bad terms that you need to know. How do you call a fuckboy in French? Well, it's simple, you call him un beau parleur. Un beau parleur is literally a sweet talker, somebody like sweet talks to you, it is like, you know, trying to, but actually it's all talk, no action. Okay, do you remember how I said that mon plus any other animal names will make for a cute pet name? Well, that's true for every other animal but one, the duck. Yes, because while mon canard means my little duck, un canard is the French equivalent of a simp. So now are some things that you absolutely do not want to say, unless you want to appear as a creep or uncultured person. Another outdated term is ménage à trois. We don't say that anymore. A threesome is called un plan à trois. Finally, do not ever approach someone by saying "Eh mademoiselle" ou "Eh miss" ou "Eh ma copine," because first of all, I'm not your copine, you're your friend, and it's just creepy. We come to the end of this video and you're now equipped to enter the Francophone dating pool. Hopefully you soon find love with a French person and you name your firstborn child after me. Goodbye!